Hey, welcome to JT in the Raw, a special edition today. A very special edition. And today I'm going to have on live, once the technology works, Matt Fletcher from GoPT, All Great Outdoors Personal Training. I wonder if that's him there. No, that's Riley Stewart watching. Hi Riley, how are you? And Matt Fletcher has... Oh, I can see you there, Matty. How do I get you on? Where are you? Matt is coming on board for us to talk to him about some of the ideas, particularly one idea that he's implemented after watching JT in the Raw. G'day Barbara, g'day Nikki. So this is about seeing some actions in place. So let's see if I can add him right now. Camera. Fingers crossed. Adding. Matty, did you get a request to be added? He hasn't got an Apple iPhone, so who knows what's going to happen. He's got one of those Samsung things. It says that it's adding you right now, Matt. So one of the important things... Here he is! Matt Fletcher.
Hello, JT. How are you?
Mate, I'm great. How are you?
Brilliant. Thank you. Enjoying a beautiful Sydney winter's day.
I was going to say, it looks like you're in God's country out there. Blue sky, sun, looks good.
Yep, it is God's country out here.
and you got the life of a personal training business owner, chilling. You're about to have your afternoon nap, is that right?
Close to it, mate. Close to it. I've actually, there's two things we can talk about my implementation from JT and the Raw and your knowledge. One is to make time out of the business as well as working in the business. So for me, Tuesday is a session-free day, basically. So I have team members running sessions while I work on the business. So that's allowed me to move forward, which has been very pleasing.
All right, well, why don't you tell everybody, first of all, about the business? Because you've got a couple of components. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about... Now, do you want to be introduced as Matt from GoPT or Great Outdoor? Where are you from?
Let's run with GoPT, which is where the business is evolving to. So the business is 6 years old, and it started as Great Outdoors Personal Training, which literally was in a little park in St Mary's, doing outdoor training with small groups. And it has evolved to now operate on a few different forums. We work at a rather elite golf and country club and have what I would refer to as semi-indoor outdoor facilities, with about a membership base of about 80 very loyal, committed athletes. Some of them have been with us for a total of about 6 years as well. So we have a fantastic community. We work predominantly with an older population, and some of my members might not like that, but that's the reality. Over 30s is where we work closely with, but we certainly don't knock back people that want to come if they're under that age group. So that's a huge part of the business, and what has allowed the business to evolve. We've got a team of 4, so I've got 3 coaches, a Pilates instructor and a yoga instructor on the team. That's a team of 5, I should say. And we're evolving into more of a corporate area of the business. So we've got it referred to as GoPT Corporate. So we currently service a couple of large businesses, and we produce and provide health, fitness and wellness programs for those large businesses. And that's an area that we're working to expand into a little bit further.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I love all the sound of that. G'day, Trav. How are you there, mate? You're moving into summer over there in the United States, so I hope the weather's good for you. It's a bit cool here. Matty, how cold was it when you were doing your outdoor training this morning?
4 degrees. It was a 4-degree brisk morning, and our athletes woke up early. They worked out, and I am confident that they're winning the day today. No shadow of doubt at all.
Hey, tell me, you said your market is very much the older market, although they don't like to be called that, but you call them athletes. How do they enjoy being called an athlete?
Look, I think everyone's an athlete, JT. I think everyone's got the ability to move better. And when I use that terminology, I do it for a reason, because I believe it can create a more confident approach. And I will use analogies like that to help people move into I guess that area. I think if people are constantly connecting to something that's not athletic, then they will stay there. If we can think more, and I'm not just talking about the physical aspects, but I'm talking about the mental aspects. If we can think along those lines of an athlete, then I believe we're going to develop in lots of areas to be better versions of ourselves. So that's why I use that terminology. And ultimately, that's what I want. I want the people that work with us to be more athletically inclined. That's why our business is moving from strictly outdoor. We're currently looking at sourcing a location to open up an indoor facility, because I want people to continually evolve. I want people to continually strive for never-ending improvement. And there's a limitation to what we can do outdoors that I believe we can overcome by moving indoors. So one day, Great Outdoors Personal Training will be Go PT, which will be an indoor facility as well as outdoor training.
So will that make you Giopt?
No, it will not. It'll be Go PT.
Oh, look, there's Sean Lestrange. He's just come on board to
Hello,
in
Sean.
big guy.
Hello, Sean.
Hello, Robin, as well. Now, Matty, you are a regular watcher. You squeeze me in on a Friday at 8 o'clock to watch JT in the Raw. And when we caught up the other day at the Industry Leaders Roundtable for personal trainers in New South Wales, one of the shows that resonated for you recently was around the questions for an interview. You put that in place, is that right?
Yeah, I certainly did. I think I could probably count over the duration of JT and the Raw on my hands how many shows I've missed, and I'm looking forward to the big 100 this Friday. And it fits in well with my Friday morning routine. I finish a session, I log on straight away, and I look forward to gaining insights, which I regularly implement. But one of those recently that I implemented were the 5 questions that you should ask at an interview. And I had, leading into my interview process, what I thought was a relatively good process that involves asking some questions, but the questions in particular that you put forward to us to ask, I used literally word for word with a recent candidate who is now on board, and she answered the questions exceptionally. So Steph, if you're listening live or on replay, you were my guinea pig, and you were extremely, extremely good at answering these questions and allowing me to understand you better as a person, which allowed me to then confirm that you were somebody that I wanted on my team. And the questions were exactly that. They weren't your standard interview questions. They were questions that allowed me to see, is this the sort of person that I want on my team? Is this person going to take responsibility, or are they going to blame? Are they someone that sets goals and works towards them and has a plan, or are they someone that fluffs around and hopes things work out? So yeah, I use that process. So I have a multi-stage interview process, and she got through to the face-to-face component. I made it as informal as possible, which was one of the other recommendations. So as opposed to that sitting at a desk we sat in an informal location in a lounge scenario, and we had an open conversation. And I thought before the actual interview, those questions were going to work very well, and to have them put into action and then have the answers come back the way they were, in this situation, it gave me a very confident feeling that I wanted Steph to be a part of my team. However, they could have also gone the other direction and given me a really clear insight into that person as not being somebody that I wanted.
So for those that are watching either live or on replay, if you missed this show, I gave 5 questions to ask in an interview. Just put 5 in the comments below, and I'll send you a link to the show so that you can get those 5 questions. Matt, when you started asking those questions, did it kind of feel a little bit weird, or did they flow naturally for you?
No, I didn't feel weird at all. I had, semi-rehearsed them. I'd had quite a clear idea of how I wanted that scenario to unfold. They weren't the first questions that I asked in the interview, but I did preface those questions with, look, these aren't your normal interview questions. But I think the nature of who I was interviewing for that particular scenario, she was able to deal with them very well. I think other people not as confident in that scenario would potentially crumble in that situation, which in itself tells us a bit more about the person.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Angus, I saw you put number 5 there, so I will send you the link to watch that JT in the Raw show. I don't even remember what number it was, but it was recently, so I will share that. So if you missed this, put 5 in the comments below. I'll send you the link to show number 5. The second question I've got for you, Matt, is you've obviously, as you said, you've been watching a lot of JT in the Raw. You've got your own live show, perhaps as a result of this or some other reason you're doing it. Tell everybody about your Facebook live show.
Yeah, I do a True the Fat with Matt live show, typically on a Thursday night at about 6:45. It was a weekly show, and I readjusted and moved that to a fortnightly show, and I'm up to about show 66. So it's been running for a couple of years as well. I don't think I will overtake the JT and the Raw series, but for me, it's an opportunity to share and to probe and to give insights into what's working for me personally, what's working for the athletes and the members of GoPT, and to share a little bit about my journey. And I found that the ability to have that forum has been exceptionally beneficial for my own growth personally, and for, I guess, the ability for people who don't work closely with GoPT to also connect. I've got a pretty clear purpose, and that is to help make healthy normal and get people moving and feeling better about themselves. GoPT is one of our main purposes is to help people think, feel, look, and move better. And I don't need to necessarily have people work and pay for our services to be able to help impact that purpose that I've got. I want my two daughters to grow up in an environment that healthy is normal. And I believe that Facebook gives us that forum. Social media as a whole gives us that forum. So yeah, Chew the Fat with Matt, 6:45 on a Thursday evening. Tune in.
Hey, I love that. Now, just for people who haven't done live, g'day Dave, g'day Jordan, welcome. Good to have you guys here. I've got Matt Fletcher here from GoPT. He's just shared that he implemented the 5 questions that I shared on a JT in the Raw recently in an interview process. He's just been telling us about his Chew the Fat with Matt, which is his live Facebook show. And Matt, you originally did that from your own personal profile. Then you moved it to the business, and now you've gone back to your profile. But so for people that are wondering about live, why did you flip, and then why did you go back?
Look, I guess
and
it's
that's
like
a question without notice.
That's fine. Yeah, I guess it's like a lot of things in business. We've got to sometimes we've got to shoot cannonballs, and sometimes we've got to shoot little bullets. And I guess that was a bit of that trial and error. I wanted to see what the response would pick up. So on my business page, we've got, I think, about 12 or 1,300 likes, and that doesn't really translate to a great deal these days. What we want to see is obviously interaction, and we want people to be aware of what the content is that we're putting out there. So my head said I might get more interaction if I move that to the business page. I did a few weeks of running it on the business page, and my interaction was lower than on my personal page. And what I didn't want to do is lose traction with what I had gained on my personal page, so I reverted back to the personal page, and that's where it has continued to stay. And for me, it feels a bit better there. Like, it's a lot of the stuff that I share is personal. A lot of the stuff on our GoPT business page, which is Great Outdoors Personal Training, is more of a community, and it's more of a business theme. I don't share a lot of personal things there, whereas my Chew the Fat with Matt on a regular basis will be very personal stuff. So I felt it actually, for me, it sat better in that personal space.
And do you think you've got any clients, or let me rephrase that. Do you think you've kept any clients or got more clients with Chew the Fat with Matt?
Look, it's a difficult one to manage, to assess as a direct result of Chew the Fat with Matt. I think it's a part of an overarching presence. Social media, when it comes to working with our groups, both in corporate and our outdoor community, being able to deliver things consistently and have a consistent message, for me, that's really important. And to show that there's a level of consistency brings out, I guess, a better following. So yeah, look, I think it's definitely contributed to retention. And look, I get regularly after Chew the Fat with Matt shows, we'll get some private messages to want to discuss things in more detail. And for me, that's valuable. Not so much the people that I get regular contact with face to face, but people who are out of our area. It's nice to be able to connect with them and feel that they're taking from what we're sharing in that scenario, and asking some more questions.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Excellent. So today's been a very special JT in the Raw. It's the Implementer series And the man you see on your screen is an implementer, Matt Fletcher from GoPT. And Matty has just shared with everybody today that he used the 5 questions that I talked about in JTInTheRaw a couple of shows ago in an interview process and got, was it Stephanie?
Yeah, Stefana is her official title. Yep.
What's her title?
Stefana as in...
Or Steph?
Yeah, Steph, yep, we give her Steph.
So Steph got on board in the GoPT team as she passed with flying colours with those 5 questions. So if you missed that show, just put 5 in the comments below. I'll send you the link so that you can add those questions to your interview process to help get the right person, as Matt has done. Matt also talks about in this show a little bit about his Chew the Fat with Matt and the lessons that he has learned by going Facebook Living with Chew the Fat with Matt, which is on Thursdays at 6:45.
6:45.
Lovely. Hey, Matty, thank you so much for coming on today and just sharing. The Implementer series is a series I like to do occasionally to show that I'm not full of shit and some of the stuff that I talk about actually works. So it's nice to hear someone putting things in place and making them work. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you for the invitation, JT. Pleasure to share. Absolute pleasure.
Awesome. Well, we'll catch you Friday, 8 a.m. Sydney time. Check your local guides if you're not in Australia or Sydney to work out what time that is.
Show 100. Don't miss it.
Show 100 coming up. Actually, this week I'm going to do a whole bunch of apps and tips to help improve your productivity and help life just be a bit easier for you. So I think I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll see how many I've got, but I'll share them on Friday. Thanks, Matty, for coming on, and we will catch you, both of us, will catch you on the flip side.
Thank you. Bye-bye.